I, 32M, never thought I'd be the guy to air family drama like this, but here we are. Some betrayals are so deep, so calculated, that keeping quiet feels like letting the villain win. And trust me, my sister-in-law, she was the villain. A little backstory. My wife, 30F, and I have been trying for a baby for 2 years. 2 years of doctor visits, crushed hopes, and silent heartbreak. When we finally got pregnant, it was like the universe had finally given us a break. So, naturally, when my mother-in-law threw a baby shower for us, it was supposed to be a celebration. A pure, joyful moment. But no, my sister-in-law, wife's older sister, 34F, couldn't stand the spotlight being on anyone but herself. She was always entitled, always found a way to make everything about her. If someone got a promotion, she suddenly had exciting career news, which never panned out. If someone got engaged, she'd dramatically hint that her boyfriend was about to propose. He never did. It was exhausting, but we tolerated it. Until she crossed the line. The baby shower was at my in-laws' house. Everything was perfect. Pastel decorations, a table loaded with food, gifts stacking up in the corner. My wife was glowing, genuinely happy, and that alone made it worth everything. Then she walked in, late of course, dressed in a tight, white dress, which was an odd choice, but whatever. She strutted in, hand on her stomach, and loudly announced, "I know today is about celebrating a new life, and I wasn't going to say anything, but I just found out. I'm pregnant too." Silence. My wife went pale. My mother-in-law gasped. Someone actually dropped a plate. And then, of course, came the flood of congratulations. My wife, because she's kind, gave her a weak smile and said, "That's wow. That's great news." But I knew my sister-in-law, and something about the whole thing didn't sit right. For one, she wasn't with anyone. She'd been single since her last breakup 6 months ago, and unless she had a mystery boyfriend, highly unlikely, considering she posted every detail of her life on Instagram. This made no sense. Second, the timing. She'd made this grand announcement not 2 minutes after my wife was about to open her gifts. And third, the smug little glance she gave my wife. Like she had won. Like she had taken something from her. I didn't call her out right then, though. No, I waited. Let her bask in the attention. I even played along, acting happy for her. Because I had a plan. I wasn't going to let this go. Not after everything my wife had been through. If my sister-in-law was lying, and I was almost certain she was, then she had just stolen a moment my wife had waited years for. That wasn't something I could forgive. So I started digging. First, I casually asked her due date. She hesitated, then blurted out, "Oh, a late June?" That was 3 months after my wife's due date. Convenient. When I asked how far along she was, she suddenly couldn't remember exactly, but said she found out a week ago. "Wow," I said, keeping my voice light. "That's early to announce. Didn't even go to a doctor yet." She stiffened, then laughed it off. "Well, I took a test, and you just know. Sure." Over the next week, I watched her social media. Nothing. No ultrasound pics, no baby on the way posts. For someone who lived for online validation, that was suspicious. So I took it a step further. I called my mother-in-law. "Has sister-in-law told you anything about her pregnancy? Like doctor visits?" "Oh, well, she said she's been really busy, but she's looking into OBGYNs. That confirmed it." She was stalling. Still, I needed proof. So I did something petty, no, strategic. I told my wife's younger cousin, who was a notorious gossip. "Sister-in-law's pregnant, huh?" I said, acting casual. "Yeah," she said. "But isn't it weird? She was drinking at Thanksgiving just 3 weeks ago. And taking shots." Gotcha. I knew exactly how to push this further. I called sister-in-law directly. "Hey, I was thinking," I said, "since you and my wife are both pregnant, we should plan a cute joint maternity shoot. Celebrate together." She hesitated. Then in the most fake, dramatic voice, she said, "Oh, actually, I lost the baby." She didn't even try to sound sad. No details, no emotion. Just flat and empty. I clenched my jaw. "Oh no," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "When did this happen?" Yesterday. I went for the kill." "That's strange. Because wife's cousin said she saw you drinking a few weeks ago." Silence. Then, she hung up. There it was. The truth. She had lied. She had made up an entire pregnancy just to take attention away from my wife. And she didn't even have the decency to fake grief when she lost the imaginary baby. I could have left it there, but I wanted her to face the consequences. So, I told my wife. She cried, not just because of the betrayal, but because for a brief moment, she had actually felt sympathy for her sister. That sympathy was gone now. Then I told my in-laws. They were horrified. My mother-in-law, who had been so excited about having 2 grandkids on the way, called her daughter in rage. Sister-in-law admitted she had faked it, but tried to justify it. I wanted to be included. I didn't think it would be a big deal. A big deal? Stealing someone's joy. Making a mockery of something so important? My father-in-law, a no-nonsense kind of man, was livid. You need help, he told her. And for the first time ever, my in-laws didn't coddle her. They cut her off financially. No more rent help, no more bailing her out of her constant credit card debt. But the real revenge? That came next. Sister-in-law had always relied on her image. She wanted to be seen as successful, desirable, the center of attention. She thrived on people admiring her, on social media, at family gatherings, even at work. But what happens when that image crumbles? I made sure it did. First, my wife's cousin, the same one who mentioned the drinking, posted in a private family group chat. I just want to say, it's disgusting to fake a pregnancy for attention. Some of us actually struggle to have kids. Just saying. She didn't name names, but everyone knew exactly who she meant. The family exploded. Aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone started messaging, asking if it was true. Sister-in-law tried to deny it at first, but then my father-in-law chimed in. She admitted it. She's cut off. Now, in most families, that would be the end of it, but not ours. Because sister-in-law had a habit of treating people like disposable props in her personal soap opera. And guess what? They were done playing along. One of her former friends, who she had ghosted after borrowing money, saw the drama and decided to spill even more. She posted screenshots of messages where sister-in-law admitted she was faking the pregnancy just to get some of the attention off wife. That spread like wildfire. And then her employer found out. See, sister-in-law worked in a public-facing role, a marketing job where reputation mattered. A coworker who had been at the baby shower had heard the fake pregnancy announcement firsthand. When the truth came out, she casually mentioned it to their boss. And let's just say, companies don't love being associated with manipulative liars. She wasn't outright fired, but suddenly her hours were cut. Her projects were reassigned. She wasn't getting invited to meetings. She was being quietly pushed out. And finally, the cherry on top, her boyfriend. Oh yeah, the ex-boyfriend she'd been trying to get back with. The guy she desperately wanted to impress. He found out too. He sent my wife a message. I dodged a bullet. Oh. And then completely ghosted sister-in-law. No more late night, maybe we should try again, texts for her. By the time the dust settled, she had lost everything. Her family's support, her job stability, her social credibility. And she knew exactly who had set the dominoes in motion. She called me, voice shaking with fury. You ruined my life. I didn't even raise my voice. No, you did that all by yourself. Click. Now my wife and I, we moved on. We had our baby. And he's the best thing that's ever happened to us. Sister-in-law? Well, last I heard, she was still trying to claw her way back into people's good graces. But the thing about burning bridges? Sometimes they stay burned. Moral of the story? Some people think they can get away with anything. But when they finally face real consequences, that's when they learn, too late, that entitlement doesn't protect them from the truth. Oh, and if you enjoyed this, maybe hit that subscribe button. Unlike sister-in-law, I won't fake my way to attention. I actually earn it.